John Locke was commonly known as the father of liberalism. He was born on August 29, 1632, to John and Agnes Locke. His father was a country lawyer and a clerk to the Justice of the Peace in Chew Magna. His mother was a tanner's daughter and was said to be very beautiful. John's mother died when he was an infant, and so he and his only brother were raised by their father. Both of his parents were Puritans. Locke was born in a small cottage by the church in Rington, Somerset. He was also baptized on that day. Shortly after he was born, they moved to the market town of Pensford, where John grew up. John was tutored because of his delicate health and the outbreak of the Civil War in 1642. When John was just 14 years old, he was sent to Westminster School in London under the sponsorship of Alexander Popham. Alexander Popham was a member of Parliament and his father's former commander. After he completed his studies there, he was admitted to Christ Church, Oxford. While studying there, he was irritated by the undergraduate curriculum of the time. He found the works of modern philosophy more interesting than the classical material at the university. Through a friend from Westminster School, Locke was introduced to medicine and the experimental philosophy. He was awarded his bachelor's degree in 1656, and just 2 years later he was awarded his master's degree in 1658. John began looking for a career in 1667. He moved into the home of the Earl of Shaftesbury, Lord Ashley, in England. He served as Lord Ashley's personal physician. While in London, he resumed his medical studies under the tutelage of Thomas Sydenham. Sydenham had a major effect on Locke and his natural philosophical thinking. While Locke was working for Shaftesbury, his liver became infected, and the infection soon became life-threatening. Well, John sought the advice of several physicians and persuaded Shaftesbury to undergo an operation that at the time was life-threatening, that he needed to remove the cyst. Shaftesbury survived, and he credited Locke with saving his life. John Locke also became involved in politics while associating with Shaftesbury. Shaftesbury was the founder of the Whig movement. Locke believed that our understanding of reality ultimately derives from what we have experienced through our own senses. His theory states that people are born equal and that education can free people from the subjunction of tyranny. He also believed that the government has a moral obligation to guarantee that people always retain sovereignty over their own rights. This includes the ownership of property that resulted from their own labor. In 1676, Locke went to France for his health. He had severe asthma, and inheritance from his father made him financially independent. He remained there for 3 years and later rejoined Shaftesbury, and when Lord Ashley fled to Holland, Locke followed him, and he remained in exile from 1683 to 1689. Most of Locke's important writings were written during this time period. None of Locke's major writings were published until he was almost 60 years old. In 1690, he produced his major 2 works, which are Two Treasures and Essay Concerning Understanding. The essay consisted of 4 books that were the result of 20 years of hard work. His goal was to inquire into the origin, certainty, and extent of human knowledge with the grounds of belief, opinion, and assent. John devoted his first 2 books of the essays to developing a simple empirical theory of knowledge. Locke believed that knowledge begins with the use of our own 5 senses and careful thinking. The conclusion that he draws is that knowledge is relational and consists of the understanding or the agreement or disagreement of ideas. According to Locke's common sense attitude, the major limitations placed upon knowledge reflect that man's mental capacity is appropriate for his character and situation. After the revolution that overthrew King James II, Locke returned to England, where he served as Commissioner of Trade until 1700. He retired at Oates in Essex, where he died on October 28, 1704. He never married. I believe that John Locke lived a very admirable life. He contributed a great deal to society. and shapes the way that we view education today. I agree with his philosophy in that we are all born equal, and that education can free people from being subjects to tyranny. I agree with Locke in regards to the way that we view the world is from our own knowledge and from our own five senses and the experiences that we require here. What we do with the knowledge that we have gained through our own experiences is completely up to us. We live in a wonderful country, and we have divine rights, and we should stand up for what we believe in and be honored to be wonderful citizens in this wonderful country that we live in today.